Hey guys, it is step 2B in the Marie Kondo KonMari month, and if you remember in these series, follow on YouTube or Instagram and watch the beginning to the end up until this point if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But in step 2, it is about visualizing your ideal life, right? So step 2 was identifying your ideal lifestyle, and then step 2A, which was last video, was about making a vision board with visuals for our ideal lifestyle so that we can see them and visualize it. It's really, really important to get these first steps in because it's going to keep us going. When we get into a thing where we feel, oh my gosh, this is a lot to do, we're going to be able to look back and remember the ideal lifestyle that we dream of. We're going to be able to see pictures of it, and it's going to push us through and just keep us focused. Remember, Eye on the prize. I did a fantastic video, or at least I thought it was, because it was one of my favorite tips about what my father taught me when I was a teen. I will link that here on YouTube if you want to check that out. But yeah, eye on the prize. Keep your eye on that trigger at all times. So step 2B is today in this video, and it's about the home greeting. And I will talk about that now. It's going to be a quick one. All right, so if you were to hire a KonMari consultant, remember, I am doing these videos in hopes that you get the books, right? These are the two main books. And also listen to the audiobooks. I bought it all. Okay, they got all, I listened to these audiobooks and bought them because they have visuals in them. And I bought the tidying course because in the online tidying course, you get the workbook. I've mentioned that several times. All of these links are in the YouTube description. So again, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, please go to the bio link, go to the YouTube channel. All of the links will be in there. And I promise I'm going to get this up on JLOVES.com really soon. It's just hard to find the time. But yes, if you get the online course, you get the workbook. And remember, you can hire a consultant to do this with you, but they are pricey, okay? You're probably not gonna find one under $75 to $100 per hour. Packages probably start $1,500 to $5,000, maybe $7,000 for a consultant, because it's working individually is going to be costly. Later, if anyone is ever interested, I am in the process of getting my KonMari consultant. So I'm thinking of doing group sessions, but the whole point of this series of videos is because it's changed my life tremendously. It really was the start of my creating my heaven on earth. And so I think it's super important. And so I'm creating all these videos to be guides, my connection with you. Hopefully, if anyone is interested in this, that they can watch these videos one by one, supplementing the core, but you have someone that you're friends with, that you can connect with, that you can ask questions with in the comments and things like that. And even if it gets popular, which hasn't been popular yet, but if it does get popular, we can start like a Facebook group, a private group where we're talking and maybe Zooming online together, and I can help answer, more personal questions. But anyhow, so if the home greeting, okay, so I tried to look for the info in these books and I couldn't find it. That doesn't mean that they're not in here. But if as a consultant, and you'll see this in Marie Kondo's Netflix series, that she always does a home greeting when she first starts working with a client. And if you take a look at this, this is not exactly what she does, but she will go into the home and she will just have a spiritual connection moment. At least that's what I'm calling it. She'll sit in the room and kind of greet the space. She'll sit quiet. And, I am definitely somebody who believes in a lot of like spiritual connections, even and especially with belongings. Some people think you can only have a spiritual connection with humans, or humans and pets, or maybe sometimes plants, just living things, right? I believe that all things have a spiritual vibe and connection to it, whether it's material or not. There's all kinds of studies on vibrations of water, right? We're actually made up of, I think it was 70% water. And if you even have energy of thinking and sending good thoughts to water, it changes like the molecules or something of the water. And so that's why if you're drinking water, as you know, like think great, happy, grateful thoughts of the water while you're drinking it and say, this is plenishing me, this is healing me, this is making me happier, like all those kinds of things. I'm a huge believer in that. And so the home greeting is a way to connect. It's a time, you know, when we are in our busy lives and maybe we feel weird about connecting spiritually, I'm telling you, the closer you get to being weird and spiritual and magical and all these things, the more magic and spiritual, wonderful, creative, interesting, lovely life things happen. Okay, so please don't be afraid of it. Like, get corny, get silly, get weird, get playful with life, and it will play back with you. You know, Sadhguru always talks about this, you know, if you're going to be dead serious, it's like there's not a good reason to play life dead seriously. And I know that that's going to sound harsh, especially if you would have told me this a few years ago when I was going through such a traumatic time in my life and like I was crying every day. I was like, you know, even though I knew I needed to get out of it, it felt really hard. So if that's you, trust me, I can relate. But the more I like forced myself to open up and dive really deep into self-love and finding out all these tools of what I can do to connect, it's just been better. So that's a long-winded thing to say that when the consultant comes in, and even they would come into your home, right? And they can do it virtually as well, but they would just take a moment to greet the home. And what I was saying is that we're so busy, we don't want to playfully or spiritually connect with things. You know, it's just our home's our home, like whatever. We just walk in, throw our bags in, blah, 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 blah. But the truth to be told that, and not every home is like this, but some homes may have had a endearing feeling to you. Maybe it's when you first moved into the home. If you're in a new home or even in a new place, like you might have gotten excited about it. You might have wanted to be in there. You might have thought of the life that you can have in it. And that's not all cases. Maybe some cases people have been stuck in a home that they've never felt connected to. But to me, honestly, we've had a home. There's so many people that struggle without one that we should enjoy and be grateful for our spaces. I mean, even if it's a cardboard box at times, or our car, or whatever, if we have some form of safety over our head, we can probably be grateful for it, because we just know that there are situations where that's not the case, right? So having said that, you know, a consultant greeting the home just kind of connects with it and, you know, talks with it spiritually. And, you know, I don't know what Marie Kondo says about this point or how much she says about it. I've forgotten, to be honest, and I haven't watched the Netflix series in a while, but it's about just connecting. What would a consultant do if they connected with the home and just felt it, right? And let me go to this one. So if you're not going to get a consultant, we're doing this kind of on our own, right? I mean, I advise you, if you can and feel like you need a consultant and you have the means and, you know, you don't want to go through this process by yourself, contact a consultant. The links are in the YouTube description. Or if you're interested in doing a group, which would be less expensive, let me know. I might try to see if I can round up a group and everybody can pay a smaller amount so that it's feasible to do. But if it's not a consultant and it's you, then you connect with the home for a second. So in step 2, we visualized our ideal lifestyle. 2A, we did the vision board. And in 2B, we're going to connect with the home. So Natalie and I have not done this yet. Obviously, we connected with our home when we first moved in, and we're just in a 3-year rental. So we only have another year really left here. But nevertheless, we're going to go through this process. So we're going to do it here. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to spend a couple minutes. Get it. Now, of course, this is optional. You know, if you say, I don't want to do it, of course, like you do always do what's comfortable and what feels right for you, right? But I would recommend, you know, at least hearing it out, right? So it would be a devoted moment in time where you sit down quietly, which I know nobody does, right? But if you're starting to get into meditation or getting quiet I mean, it's amazing. So you would literally just have no sounds on, maybe open a window if it's nice outside, and just sit down, maybe close your eyes, you know, and just take a deep breath, relax, and literally go into your mind space, picture your home, and connect with it. You know, say a little gratitude for it, you know, thank you for this, thank you for that. You know, play with this, like, you know, say, you know, what is the spirit of this home? What do I want the spirit of this home to be? What do I see it being like? What does it want to hold space for? Like anything that comes to mind that you can spiritually connect with it. You might hear things that you don't know because we're just not used to getting quiet. And I'm telling you, meditation, if the more and more that you do it, the more that I do it, which I'm still not even doing it really a lot, but I can't wait to start doing it more. And I know I'm not doing it just because I haven't been doing it, but once I get more into a routine, I know it's going to be amazing because as much as I have done, it's been fantastic. It helps so much in life. But yeah, like get connected with the home and see what comes to you. Try to quiet your mind. That'll be hard if you've never meditated before, but you can do it. Just keep talking and thinking of the home, you know, see what comes. Take a deep breath. That really helps. Like slow breath in, slow breath out, and connect. Maybe I'll try like a meditation video one day. So do that and listen to it. I think it'll be fantastic, and it'll really be able to just like give like a mental spiritual hug to your home place before we get started with this process. All right, so speaking of what is coming up, the next video I am going to go a little deeper into the books, because when we start the first category, which is, believe it or not, coming up, I know there's been a lot of lead up to actually starting to do it, but do a lot more planning in the beginning and preparation, and then when you get started, you can just move, right? And ideally, really, if somebody was doing this tidying festival, they would have gone through these books, these audiobooks, but I'm kind of jump starting a lot of things that if you can't or don't, you know, have the time to listen to them, you can maybe do the online course, because that's like 10 small videos, and follow along with me and Natalie, and maybe you can even get started. But the reason why I want to get do a little bit now, I mentioned the books and the Netflix and all of the Marie Kondo resources that are out there in video 1 of Marie Kondo. That's I'll click it here. I think it's here. I always forget which area it is. I think it's here on YouTube, and it's the very first of the KonMari series, and I go through towards the end like all of the resources, her Netflix, her, you know, I think maybe a Google Talk she does, and all that kind of stuff. But I want to go into a deeper dive because I want to explain again what the differences are with the books. I definitely highly recommend both, and again, I recommend listening to the audiobooks and purchasing these books because of the pictures and stuff like that they have in some of them. So I want to go through these because they're great resources when we start getting into the categories. Like we're going to start off with clothes on Sunday, and when we do that, these are going to be great to look at them and see, you know, all the suggestions and stuff. But of course, you'll have Natalie and I. So that will be in the next video. But after that, this is kind of what I think the schedule is going to be. I am totally making this up as I go along, and it is definitely challenging for me. So I hope there's one soul out there. Please let me know if you are finding any interest in these videos or if they're helping in any way. I don't know, but that's the thing about sharing, is that you have to share about something that you're passionate and that you love, because you know, and not have any, you know, desires really, or any I mean, you can have desires, you know, I'm desiring that this is helpful for someone, but definitely not having the expectations. Like even if I had expectations that 5 people are watching, like I don't do that. I just put that out there. Maybe it's helpful for someone. Potentially it's not, but it's definitely helpful for me, because remember, if you teach something, you drive that lesson into you like 1,000 times deeper. It like sits with you because you relearn it. You have to learn it even better because you're teaching it, right? So it definitely helps me. So hey, all right. So this is the schedule that I think. So again, tomorrow would be the books review. Wednesday, we talk about some folding basics. There are 100 videos on all of these topics, right? I'm not teaching anything revolutionary. A lot of people have done this, but you know, sometimes it helps to hear from one point of view versus another, whoever you connect with. So I'll talk a little bit about folding basics. I don't want to get too much into that because there are so many resources out there, but I just want to share like a couple things that I do slightly different. And you know, Marie Kondo says, you know, we kind of do to some degree, what works good for you. Thursday, I might go through some frequently asked questions related to clothes. So really these next few days are going to be preparation for Sunday's start of clothing. We're going to start on Sunday. So if you're free on Sunday, let me know in the comments or send me an email or a message if you have my number, if you know me, and let me know if you're interested in starting on Sunday. If you want to go on a Zoom or you want to go live together and start our clothing on Sunday, that might be fun, right? But so all these lead up days are going to be leading up to the category, the very first category that you start with your Tidying Festival, which is clothes. So Thursday, FAQs related to clothes. On Friday, I'm going to talk about some challenges related to clothes that are going to come up. Hopefully, if we answer all these questions and all these things that are going to come up, when we start on Sunday, it's not going to come up because we would have, not all of, obviously I can't think of everything, but some of the ones that would normally come up, you're not going to get sidetracked from it because we would have already talked about it. We would have already reviewed it a little bit, and we can just rock and roll, right? So Friday challenges, Saturday will be like final prep day in preparation for Sunday start. So prep day, we'll just talk about which, you know, how we're gonna do clothing, the category of clothing, because I am going to piecemeal that a tiny bit. I'll give an example, like jewelry to me is part of clothing. I think, I'm not positive, but in Marie Kondo, like clothing equals all clothes, all books, all accessories, handbags, and potentially jewelry. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like it's bulked all together. And for me, that's a lot to take in. So we're going to talk on prep day, what we're going to narrow down, and we'll just figure out where we go from there. So that's the possible schedule, you guys. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I know you are because I love you, and of course the universe does. And thanks so much. And remember, this is going to be awesome. Look at this beautiful lady. She's smiling, she's happy, she's making me happy. And that's what we're going to be looking like when we start. And that shirt would spark joy. So in terms of clothing, I would be keeping that. In fact, I need to buy some new clothes. But anyway, I diverge. Whatever that word is. Love you guys, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.